So I wanted to share some light language, but also I love it when I have conversations with people and the beings share information through that conversation. So I was having a conversation with someone who um, who was wondering if she could learn light language, and I shared with her that I don't think that you can. I mean, you can learn light language. I learn something every day about light language, something new. So I'm not going to get into the trap of saying you can't learn what light language is. Um, as far as the gift is concerned, we all have it. We're born with it. It's our original language. Um, I think the problem, see, I got some new earrings. I'm so in love with these earrings. Um, I think the thing that people get hung up on is thinking that it has to look a particular way for them, and it doesn't. So, we've talked about this before that light language is transmitted, it's channeled, in my opinion. Light language is channeled. And my sister Laura tells a story about about working with this man who does voice recognition work. He does research, and he does voice recognition, and he wanted her to record for one of his robots because she has a really nice voice. Laura Rose Tellez, if you don't know her already. But he wanted her to record for one of his robots using her voice. And so she did that for him. She read out of the book, you know, um, the story, or the programming that he wanted to share. So she read that out of the book, and then he recorded it, and he did the voice patterning based on that recording, right? And then he made a separate recording of her doing light language. And when he set the pattern for that one, he compared the two, and he told her that he could not prove, because he already had her voice patterning, her natural voice patterning, that when he compared it to the light language, he could not prove that that was her that had channeled the light language, because the voice patterning was entirely different. And so when I was sharing with this client those Laura's stories, the beings reminded me that it's like our fingerprints, right? Your fingerprint is specific to you. No one else has your fingerprint. And it's the same with your voice patterning, your frequency, the modulation is, no one else has that. I mean, there are comedians all day long who can mimic other people, but I don't believe, I could be wrong, but I don't believe that if they were actually um, put on recording and they did a voice analysis, I don't believe that they could say it was the same person as the original person. I got sidetracked. Anyway, so I was sharing that with her, and that's when the beings reminded me about the fingerprint, identification. Our voice is the same. And I'm trying to remember why I said, oh, so anyway, she and I were talking, and she said that she wanted to learn, she wanted to know if she could learn about light language, or learn to transmit light language. And I was sharing with her that it is our birthright. I mean, light language is our first language. There's no um, activation, or there's no giving you the gift. You are the gift. You're born with the gift. It can be awakened. We can assist you in remembering that you know how to do this. We can assist you in making, like when you are trying to spark a battery or whatever, you put one wire together and another wire together and it makes a spark, right? Well, those of us who are actively speaking light language, consciously speaking light language, are the activators. We're the sparks. But all that we're doing is just sparking you to remember what you already know. So we're not giving you anything. And so she was sharing with me that I was sharing with her the different ways that you can transmit light language, the different ways that you channel it. And one of those is through dance. And that sparked her memory. I love the spark. And it sparked her memory that she loves to dance and that she's danced for a long time. And that whenever she does her Reiki treatments for people, she very often finds herself dancing. I mean, not, dancing as in a disco, but, moving. She often finds her body moving, in a rhythmic pattern. And as she moves from one place in the body to the next, she finds her body moving. For me, what's happening there is that she is transmuting energy. She's moving energy around, but that's what we do with light language. It's one of the things that light language does, is it brings in frequencies and alignments. It transmutes energy. It reconfigures DNAs. It does a lot of things, and so that's what she's doing when she's moving like that. And so it sparked her memory that she is transmitting light language, but she's doing it as a body movement instead of speaking it or singing it or writing the symbols or doing the hand movements, the mudras. So when I was talking to her, the beings also gave me the memory. I say the memory because we already know this information. So the beings also gave me the memory that when she's moving her body and moving her feet, and she and I had the conversation about all of the different cultures and tribes who have dance in their ceremonies. Their ceremonies of healing, their ceremonies of what's the word? Once I do light language, I forget my English. Celebration. Their ceremonies of celebration. Their ceremonies of healing. Their ceremonies of calling, working with the elements or whatever. They're doing dance. They're moving their bodies, and they're hitting the earth like this. So what it reminded me of, or what the beings were showing me, was that when she's doing that movement, when she's dancing, when, thinking that she's just transmitting Reiki, when she's doing that, her feet are moving in a particular pattern. And what the being showed me was a scale of music, right? When you see a sheet of music scales, and it goes up and down, and different patterns. That's a frequency, right? That's a frequency. This musical scale and this musical scale and this musical scale, and when you put them together, they create a harmony. They create a balance. They make changes. They break up energy. They heal. They align. And so what they were showing me about what she's doing is that when she's dancing or moving, when she's doing healing work, that her feet are working on something similar to a scale of music. There's a particular pattern to how her feet are moving. I'd never heard that before, and I wanted to share that with you because that was new knowledge to me. You might have already known it, but it was new knowledge to me, and I'm going to add that in the book, in my section of the book. So for you, those of you that don't know, we are writing a book. So I've written 2 books already. Those you can find out about those on earthwoman.com or patriciawalls.com, and they're also listed at Amazon. But anyway, I'm writing a 3rd book. This book, though, is a collaboration of 4 women who are speakers or transmitters of the language of light. And I'm very excited about that book. And so I'm going to add this to my portion of the book. The book is, for those of you that don't know, it is called Galactic Frequencies of Light, Experiences in the Language of Light, or maybe Experiences in Light Language, I forget. But anyway, it's due to be published on Amazon May the 15th, not that far away. And I'm really excited about it. So you can actually go to Amazon and pre-order the ebook if you would like. Yeah, so anyway, I'm excited to add that part to my portion of the book. And so, and also I wanted to offer that information to you, that little tad of information, but also I wanted to offer you some light language to, how rude. I wanted to offer you some light language to assist with these energies that we have going. So you know the drill. Receive, release, relax, receive, release. That's the drill. The 3 R's. Relax, receive, and release. So yeah, if you want to, just close your eyes and receive. And if you are having any thoughts or images, just say release, because they're coming up to be released. And yeah, enjoy. Pe'a namokoi bahashe a namaye erako baba e ndoho mamoina ne leaha namayaki ngo oboia sharebe e untui ai e menini upoira mele rebeara rapakaia ne mehi ui ai e nono oi ka e pe ashte era e andiri I tu me a nini me I onkoi baha ashe e ti wadiri I tu ne li I he ondo hoi maha nana ni bi e aka she ai e momokoi badere be e tu e li di bi ara da ba ahake koi a mama ye nini imbu be oi a stere da ba ire ke ongoi ma apapoia be la de be ara de uhistu ke pe a ona momo ana me aka ai ke li I ha ndobo oi ba be ui ha sha da ba ire de ke ongoi ba nene me ha anai undui ba I a ki a paia be ai a stere da oho oi ma ne oho ngabai me a mama I pe a wachi o ondo bia alnagiri I ko opoia. So I hope that you are all doing well in your own discovery of the language of light, and I just wanted to give you some reminders that I have a couple of light language galleries that I offer, and one is here in Waxahachie at the Enchanted Energy Haven, and the other one is in Frisco at Laura's office building, the conference room for her office building. And I'm also doing sort of a retreat called the Light Language Immersion Weekend, where it's 48 hours, so it's Friday at 1 p.m. until Sunday at 1 p.m. I counted 48 hours, who knows, but it is an immersion into the language of light, learning about it, being immersed in the healing and the frequencies of it, and if need be, helping you to remember that you are also a transmitter in one way or another. It's going to be a great weekend. We're going to be filming part of it, and my niece, Dina Gilmore, is a filmmaker, and she's going to be filming part of the weekend for something that she's doing, so I'm excited about that. And we're also going to have sound equipment. We're going to have some gongs and bowls, and we're going to be learning about the frequencies that occur in that way, the healing that occurs through those frequencies. And so I'm looking forward to it. It is, I think, the first weekend in July, but again, you can find out more about that on my website, earthwoman.com at Kajabi, and there's a link for that website on my main website, which is patriciawalls.net. You can also follow me on Facebook, Patricia Dancing Elk Walls, and I usually post my events there. So I look forward to seeing some of you in the circle. There are some spaces left for that Light Language Immersion Weekend. It is, what would you call it? Well, men and women. It is all genders. The sleeping arrangements are, it is a retreat house, and there are, I think, 5 rooms with twin beds. There's one large room that has 4 sets of bunk beds in it, and then people can also camp. They can also throw a tent or whatever, and the allowance is 20 people, and I think I am at 11 right now, so there are a couple of spots left. You might want to go ahead and reserve. So anyway, I hope to see you in the circle down the road.